So we're going to check out a video from the sister T with Keisha, where she's going to be talking about the city girl mayor, Tiffany Henyard. So let's check this out.
On that same smart mouth, disrespectful, very childish woman is the same person that she is consistently. It's not a show she's putting on. This is really what we're up against here.
In a recent revelation, former assistant Stephanie Weidman didn't hold back, describing the mayor as narcissistic and self-serving, accusing her of causing discord in the town during a candid interview about her beauty expenses. Adding fuel to the fire, Weidman presented records obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request, exposing Henyard's expenditures on her stylist, who curiously appeared as an admin assistant in the receipts. Henyard's stylist, Brandon K. Moman, known as Style Me Brandon on Instagram, frequently shares content showcasing the mayor's glamorous transformations, complete with vibrant outfits and radiant smiles. Despite Weidman's 20-year tenure at Thornton Township, she found herself dismissed by Henyard shortly after joining her team, citing the mayor's tendency to act on personal grudges rather than community welfare. Commenting on the mayor's extravagant spending on personal grooming, Weidman expressed concern, questioning the propriety of such lavish expenditures. As the scandal unfolded, Henyard emerged from the shadows, responding in her characteristic manner. However, her reaction merely echoed the bold and unapologetic approach for which she has become known.
We in the news every single day.
Referring to herself as super mayor.
Hey, I'm the first super mayor.
Tiffany Henyard had lots to say during Tuesday night's Thornton Township Board of Trustees.
So for those of you who don't know about Tiffany Henyard, she has got to be the most corrupt mayor in this country. I ain't gonna run down all the stuff, but just a couple examples. She's accused of using public funds for a Chevy Tahoe, which the base price was $93,000. No. That was the price once it was optioned out and everything. $93,000 with interest, just with interest alone. This Tahoe came out to be $155,000. And you know what? They didn't even buy it. It was a lease. One of the things she's accused of doing, allegedly. One other thing is she's accused by a few businesses of not getting permits. And the reason they're saying they're not getting their permits because these businesses donated to her campaign, but when it was time to renew because of the way she's running things, those businesses did not renew. And some of those businesses, she shut them businesses down. She's not letting them get their permits. And there's a plethora, there's 1,000 things that this lady is being accused of. Now, the crazy part is, as far as with the spending the money, there's other things she's spending the money on, the public money. She has two positions. One, she's the supervisor of the township, and she's the mayor of this particular city. And her salary between the two positions is $300,000. She's making that much money and still just using up all the taxpayers. So far, then put the village of Dalton, this little city with 20,000 people, put them in a budget deficit of $7 million at this point for various things. I'm telling y'all want to go back. You can look at some of my old videos that I've done about her and it'll give you more, but every single day there's something new.
Meeting, but she left without taking any questions.
Vegas mayor.
NBC5 obtained copies of complaints accusing Mayor Henyard and an unnamed Village of Dalton trustee of sexual harassment, retaliation, and discrimination. And the Department of Human Rights tells NBC5 it is investigating. At Tuesday night's meeting, Thornton Township trustee Christopher Gonzalez called the allegations serious.
It's just unacceptable. It's disgusting. I mean, if that's true, that there was an assault happened and then it was tried to whatever. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but if there was attempt at a cover-up or something like that, then like I said, yeah, that's just unacceptable.
Gonzalez says if the allegations made against the mayor are found to be true, She should step down from both of her positions as mayor and Thornton Township supervisor.
If, you know, all these things come to where they've been proven and, you know, action has been taken, I mean, I don't see how, you know, she could continue as a township supervisor.
As for Dalton, the village board is expected to meet Monday night at 6:30. Reporting from South Holland, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
So my first interaction with her was probably around 2012. The previous supervisor also held a seat as the Thornton Township committeeman. In that role, we volunteered in a lot of local elections. One of those elections was her election as the Dalton trustee, which I believe she won in 2013. That was my first interaction with her. It really wasn't great. To be quite honest, she was even then a very self-serving person. As an organization, you know, when you support a ticket, you support a team. And that team typically puts in equal parts of work. That wasn't the case with her. She only worked when it was for her. It was aggressive. There were a lot of people, a lot of police officers, a lot of security, people just bombarding in your offices. She didn't trust me. I wasn't part of her team. Those were her words, and understandable. It wasn't a surprise to me that I was let go. It was a surprise to me that she shattered everything else. Because you had a well-oiled machine. The township services were self-running because the people there knew what they were doing. But you eliminated all of that, and the community is suffering because of it. Narcissistic. I mean, I've met people in my life that have characteristics of being a narcissist, but to a T, every single characteristic you need to qualify for that she exhibits on a regular basis. Well, we can start with the simples that are obvious: me, I. The lack of accountability, the denial, the deflection, the belittling people.
I am your leader. I am the one that won by 82%. I am the one that carried you, trustee Jason House, you, Kiana Belcher, that never wins anything, over the hump. That's why you guys have your seats that you have before you. So I don't understand.
What type of person talks like this? There's more.
Understand how any of you other trustees would sit here on mute and not even pay anybody. Trustee Norwood, trustee Tammy Brown, and trustee Kiana Belcher. It's a shame that all y'all will follow that and keep voting down people pay. We have been through this long enough. And for the record, trustee House, you need to sign the checks. It's checks that you have not signed because you want to sit here and pick out people that you do not want to pay because of your own personal reason. That's unacceptable. You guys are supposed to legislate. I govern the town. When y'all get that in your head of who does what, you guys will move differently here in the village.
I mean, it's all there. It's visible to all of us. She tries to downplay it by pretending she only treats the people that are on that board that way, but the employees have different stories, and the person you see when that camera turns on, that same smart mouth, disrespectful, you know, very childish woman, is the same person that she is consistently. It's not a show she's putting on. This is really what we're up against here. And I say childish wholeheartedly because as a woman, it's hard for me to imagine that another woman in the same age range as mine mentally thinks the way she does. I'm convinced she stopped mentally developing when she was in high school, and it has just, because it's very high schoolish. Well, that's my enemy, so you can't talk to them. I don't like her, so I'm not going to provide signatures on the permit for the park district to improve their parks because she's working there. Like, these are real life things that we're going through right now because of personal vendetta she has. She uses a police force to harass and torture residents. I know this firsthand. I've been arrested by them. I get removed from meetings. If I wasn't living it, I wouldn't believe it was happening. It was 100% retaliation. I have no doubt in my mind. And the fact that those police officers, even though they took an oath to protect a community, they're really only doing what she says. They're not here to protect us. They're fully here to protect her. I mean, we don't have to leave these elected officials in these seats to ruin our communities. These are our communities. We are their boss. And I think if they take away anything from this, it's just that, just fight, speak up, use your voice.
What's crazy, another crazy thing is that everybody that's so-called, air quotes, on her team, they're in the catch-22. Because she's getting the bag, she helping them get in the bag. Some of these police officers are billing the village for 24 freaking hours. Can you imagine how much over the course of a week? Can you imagine how much overtime? Some of these police officers that protect her have billed the city, the village, for more hours that there are in a week. And the reason these guys are in the catch-22, these guys and girls are in the catch-22 is, we can just sit here and say, oh, well, if they don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay, of course, then she'll fire them. And then they'll have to go get another job. Well, you at your job. Think about if it was you. You don't like what your boss does. Hopefully you're not complicit in it. Well, why don't you just quit and go get another job if it's so easy? Go ahead.
Do what you feel is right, and don't let these elected officials destroy where you live. This is our livelihood. This is our home. You don't have to deal. I think that the biggest thing I could get people to take from this would be is that you don't have to let them do what they want. You guys have a voice. You guys have the power. Just speak up. I have come across many of people, 2 people in particular that were former employees. One is actually still kind of an employee, but one is a former employee. They had gotten ill. They were off for a while. She wanted them to come back to work. When they explained to her what was going on, her response was, take your medicine and get to work. So that's how she kind of feels. Like 40 hours a week isn't enough. If you can't work more than that, you're not welcome here. But I'm only going to pay you for the 40 and still expect you to work the 50 or 60. Again, I was fired early on, so I never got to experience any of this. But it would be safe to say that yes, the disrespect and the tone in which she speaks to people is no different than what you see during those sitcoms every month.